Hello, my name's Iona. I'm a confidence coach. In 2023, I am embarking on a no-buy year where I don't buy anything that I don't need this year. I'm doing this to help me transform some emotional things that I have going on and also to help me feel more empowered around my finances. And in this video, I'm going to talk to you about my fears that have been coming up since starting the no-buy year. So, of course, naturally, my main fear is that I'm not going to be able to last a whole year without buying myself things that I don't need. One of the reasons why I'm doing this no-buy year is because I tend to spend money whenever I feel stressed out, whenever I feel triggered as a reward, whenever I need a dopamine hit. And one of my biggest fears around doing this no-buy year is that I'm not going to be able to last. I'm going to have like a meltdown where I just go online and binge and have like a big spending spree. Coupled with that fear is the fear of forgetting, right? The fear that I'll forget that I'm doing this no-buy year. When I'm in a deregulated state, I'll just go shopping or I'll just buy. And I would say that I'm now in like my 20th or 21st or 22nd day into the no-buy year. I think I started it officially on the 1st of January, but I had a couple of days before that just to prepare myself. And today is currently the 19th of January. So I'd say I'm probably 20 or 21 days, 3 weeks into the no-buy year. And I've been pretty good so far. I've been really conscious around my feelings, my emotions, and my decisions when I'm out shopping. So the things that I've spent my money on have been food and paying my bills. That's the only things that I've really spent any money on. I've had the urge to go online and buy stuff. I've had the urge to go online and look at books. But every time I go to hit the pay button, I think to myself, do I really need this? Or do I really want it? What feels better for me, having the money in the bank or having the book right now? And in this moment, or when I've been tapping in, certainly, the feeling that comes up is that it feels like more relieving to have the money in the bank. By now, in the month, I would have probably had no money in the bank right now, right? I would have spent the money that I've had throughout the first week of the month, binging and spending, creating a lot of stress and anxiety when it comes to my finances. But actually, now I have some money set aside and it feels like relief. Every time I go and look on my bank balance on my online banking, I don't get a sense of dread. I actually get a sense of excitement. Don't get me wrong, when money's come out, I've been a bit like, oh, when bills and things have come out. But one of the things that I've really done is I went back and I have removed any standing orders that I don't use, like any apps and things that I pay for that I don't use, anything that's like any hemorrhaging of cash out of my bank account when I don't know that where that money's going to. But another fear that I have that's come up quite a lot in the past couple of days, I'll find other things to obsess over, or I'll find other things to become addicted to and transfer my addiction to other aspects and other things, other parts of my life, or other means that might cause me harm. However, to counter this fear, I have been pretty good with whenever I feel I need to soothe myself externally by doing something, I check in with my emotional body and I find out and I ask really what's going on there. Am I doing this because I want to do it and it's fun to do? Or am I doing it because I'm hiding from something? I'm hiding from an emotion, I'm hiding from trauma, I'm hiding from a blocked feeling, a trapped feeling. So it's been a really good opportunity for me to explore. So that fear that I'm just going to transfer my addiction to something else, which felt really true at the start, actually now I'm getting better and better at tapping in and dealing with my feelings that come up. Of course, I'm seeing a therapist and I have an amazing community of other coaches and counselors and things that I can access and tap into. And I'm pretty good at doing the work myself. But having said that, we're only 20 days in, so we'll see what happens in the time upcoming. Another fear that I have experienced is I fear that I will convince myself to buy the thing because I want my inner child to have what she deserves. Like many other people, I grew up in a family where there was a lot of lack and a lot of scarcity. My younger self was told no a lot. You can't have this because we don't have enough money for it. We don't have enough. There was a lot of not enoughness, a lot of scarcity, a lot of fear of running out. And when I go to spend my money or when I go to do the thing, I'm tapping into my inner child and I'm checking in with her to see and feel how she's doing, what she's up to, how she feels. When I say, actually, no, I'm not going to buy the thing, checking in with my inner child and see how she's feeling and see how she's doing. And if she's having a tantrum, then I will offer her comfort and warmth and support and guidance and make sure that she's okay and that she understands that we're doing this for the bigger picture, which is to feel safe around money, to feel empowered around money, to make better decisions, to be more conscious with my spending. When I take that time and have that conversation with her, it's not about lack, it's not about scarcity, it's not about what she can't have. We're doing this to feel better. We're doing this for the bigger picture, right? Right now it might suck and it might feel bad and you want the thing, but actually it's going to feel better. It feels better having the money in the bank than having the thing. And with a little bit of conversation and a little bit of comfort and nurturing to my inner child, she gets it. She does get it. She understands. But I also want to know that she is worthy of whatever she wants, and she does deserve to have the whole world and have whatever she wants, and she will get whatever she wants. She will get to that stage. But right now, we're healing. We're moving through some old stuck trauma and some old emotions and feelings that are not benefiting us right now, not benefiting her or me. One thing I noticed over Christmas time, one thing I became really conscious of was presence. Presence as in gifts, as in giving gifts to people. And actually what I want is presence, right? The being in the moment, the being in the now, being with people, showing up and being with somebody, being with them and hearing them is far more powerful than giving someone a thing. I know my wounded inner child really wants and needs emotional presence for me to be present with her, which is really what I lacked growing up. Deep down, I feel my need to buy myself nice things, aka presents. I want to buy myself presents. But what I really need is presence, because a lot of us have been given the thing, we've been given the present. A lot of emphasis has been put on the physical and not the emotional and the mental. Another fear that I have got is that I fear that I will somehow trick myself or manipulate myself into buying something that I don't really need, that's on my no buy list. I need to have presence to soothe that inner child and give her what she wants. I fear, again, I will trick myself at some point, which actually in the past 20 days has been an opportunity to really get to know myself and ask the question, what kind of relationship do I want with myself? Because come into this reality with the self, when we leave with the self, the relationship with ourself is the most important relationship we'll ever have, right? So what kind of relationship do I want with myself? Do I want a relationship that's tricking, manipulative, and fearful? No, I want a relationship that's authentic, truthful, honest, compassionate, and kind. When I tap in, when I'm going to buy the thing, when I feel like I want to buy the thing, again, I'm tapping into what my inner child wants and actually how I really feel about it, what brings relief and what brings fear, and what I'm doing to satisfy that like lack or that wound or that emotion. I have done a lot of emotional work this month. It's been a real roller coaster for me. And I think perhaps because I've not been avoiding my feelings like I would if I was spending, or if I was doing something like that, if I was doing something addictive or impulsive, compulsive, I have actually been looking at what's going on, and that has created a lot of shifts within me this month. And I fear that I'll become angry, depressed, and sad, which has been happening. I'm not going to lie. I have been feeling pretty rough this month so far, which I think is why I've found it difficult to come on and speak, is because I've not wanted to put any makeup on. My hair's been a riot. I really didn't want to do my hair, so I haven't. I felt like I did the last thing I wanted to do was come on and talk about my fears and what's going on. And also I need to feel is to heal. And in order for me to get through this, I have to face the feelings that I have suppressed and depressed in my body. I understand that they're going to hurt for a moment, but once I have allowed myself to be with them, then it's a lot easier for me to move through it, and it no longer becomes relevant. That fear, that depression, that sadness, it dissipates from my being. Another one of my fears is that I fear I will break and have a huge binge, and that includes blowing all my money and all the credit cards I paid off. And again, right now, that feels like the worst thing I could possibly do for myself. Like, I understand emotionally and mentally that that's going to put me back into a state of stress, and I don't want to be in that state of stress anymore. I want to be in a state of relief. So what feels to me like at this moment in time, in a couple of months' time, it might be very different. So hence why I'm going to come back every so often and have a chat like this. I fear that I will invent new ways of spending money in my brain and acquire things. I don't think I have managed to do that. So far in 20 days, I've not invented any new ways of spending money or acquiring things. I have a voucher. I have a voucher for a store that I have been holding on to because I don't want to just go out and spend it. I also fear that the addiction will become an exercise in hoarding. Like, I can't spend money, so I have to cling on to things in other ways. I have a friend and a fellow coach, a colleague who is a clutter coach. And I'm actually going to get her to maybe do a video with me and have a chat with me about this whole thing, because she really helps people in terms of mental, emotional clutter and physical clutter as well. So I really want to have a chat with her and also focus on just decluttering my life, right? Getting myself back into a place of harmony and relief. And right now, my living situation, it does feel quite intense and quite difficult to keep track of and keep on top of in terms of cleaning and tidying. And I also worry that I will find other things to spend my money on that's not on my no buy list. I have rules of my no buy year, and one of those rules are that I can spend money on my health. I visit the chiropractor, I buy herbs and naturopathic, holistic things for myself, and I see a therapist. So right now, when it feels good for me to do so, I'll spend the money perhaps on a massage or a Reiki session or something like that. One of my fears is that I'm just going to start binging on health stuff and find another way for me to spend my money. But again, when I tap in, I feel like, no, actually, right now, it feels like more relief being in the bank, because this is just the start. This is just January, and I've got the whole year ahead of me. I'm feeling pretty good right now. I wasn't a week or so ago. I was really in the depth of depression and sadness and really moving through a lot of emotional stuff. Luckily, I have a lot of amazing resources that I can tap into, and I'm also really in tune with my body, and I know when it's time to go inward and do the work. It doesn't feel good, but I know that it has to be done. I'm hoping that that has put me in really good stead and put me on a really good path for the rest of the year, but we'll see how it goes. So those are my fears that have popped up for me in this past month during my first few weeks of my no buy year. I'm only 20 days in, and there's a whole year ahead of me. I would love to know if you're doing a no buy year. If you have done one, if you're planning to do one, or if you're doing one, pop a comment in the comment box below. If you're interested in any coaching, the details for that are in the description box. I will speak to you very soon.